So it turns out Jordan had to pull out, and you're going in with Jake Wyllie. Just talk to me over the last few days. When did you find out? What were your thoughts?
I found out early yesterday morning. I just finished a nice run down at Cronulla Beach. The sun was out, everything felt good, and then all of a sudden, my father rocked up to the run, and okay, what's he doing at the run? He doesn't usually run, and I asked him a couple of questions, and I could see something was not right. And I go, "What's going on with your Dan?" As he's out. I go, "What do you mean he's out? This guy's been pumped. The Indonesians have been pumped for this fight. He's been preparing very, very hard, and." Yeah, he goes, no, he's unfortunately he collapsed and cutting the weight. I think the weight got too much for him. I believe he hooked himself very, very hard in training camp. He prepared very, very well for a guy like myself. He's given everything he had, but yeah, it took a toll on the body, and yeah, he's out. So he said, okay, we can sit back for a few months and go fight Hitchins, or we save the day because there wouldn't be a card without, obviously, wouldn't be a show without me fighting. Who's the Australian light welterweight champion currently? Okay, Jake Wyllie. Okay, what's his record? 16 and 1, 15 knockouts. I like that. Let me have a look at him. Had a look at him, orthodox, exact same style as Dwight Jordan. Okay, you know what? This kid has never shown any disrespect, never badmouthed me for a payday. Was actually meant to be coming. Actually bought tickets to the fight to come watch the fight. So I've heard he's a supporter and a fan. I said, you know what? Give this kid the opportunity. I want to give him a rocky story. I want to give him the opportunity. He was meant to fight in 3 weeks, so he's fit, he's ready, he's been sparring, he's in good condition. Weight's not going to be a problem for him. I want to change this kid's life, give him an opportunity of a lifetime, give him the Rocky story, but of course, there won't be a happy ending Rocky movie in this one. And yeah, we went about our business. I'm the kind of fighter that no matter what, adapt. I've been in it with the best of the best in the world. I've been in there, for so many amateur fights as well, where you find out who you're fighting on the first, in one day, or you morning your way in, you know who you're fighting. Obviously that night, nothing changes. I've seen the style. We sat down with my coach, my team. We looked at him, my head coach, the Russian Olympic coach, Anton Kadushin, said, George, this is the same style we're preparing for. This is exactly the same thing, except for different person, different name, but less experience. Okay, we got to fight.
Was there any consideration knowing that there was a title shot in a few months, just to be like, maybe this is a sign I should just sit on it?
No, because like I said, there is no show without me fighting. The fans have come and bought tickets, and how could I do that in my Sydney show to all the fans that have bought? There'd be an uproar, wanting the tickets back. But also, I'm a fighter for Australian boxing. I support Australian boxing. I support my community. I support, give young kids opportunities on undercards. Kids that would never get a shot anywhere. I put them on the undercards to give them an opportunity, a payday, exposure. There's young kids on the card where Eddie's going to see them and say, wow, that kid's got something. I want to sign him. So this gives the opportunity. So imagine I pull out because of whatever reason, because there's something bigger dangling. No, I get in the ring as a true fighter. I give a young Aussie kid who's the Australian champion, the best number one domestic 140 pounder, an opportunity. He's going to come with everything he's got. I'm very focused on him, but I make sure the card continues and all these young kids and fighters and female world champions and Imam Khatiev, top five in the world. We've got him on the undercard and all these guys on the show. We have them fighting and getting their payday and their opportunity. I couldn't take that bread away from them.
He's obviously a dangerous puncher. He got a lot of
Mm.
knockouts on his record. Does he bring a kind of added risk to the fight now?
Well, yeah, he's got a lot of knockouts. Obviously, 16 wins, one loss, 15 knockouts. But again, let's not get it twisted. No disrespect. I respect the kid for jumping at the fight. And yeah, part of him, he saved the day as well. Um, I like the way he's gone about his boxing business, but the 15 guys he's knocked out, I would have knocked them out as well. Um, so yeah, we'll see. I've been in there with tremendous punches. I've had a great camp. Jordan is a puncher, so I've prepared for that. There's no difference. There's no difference from Jordan to Jake Wyllie. It's just a different name and a different person in the ring. So yeah, we're very focused. I'm too experienced to lose any focus, to be thinking too far ahead. I've been there many, many times. I've been at the highest level. So um, bring on Saturday night.
This almost it reminds me of when Andy Ruiz came in against Joshua. Um, he's kind of there's no pressure on him. The fact that he had tickets to the fight is quite a nice story, and then he's fighting you. Do you think it almost because of that he'll feel no pressure? It'll almost be like a roller coaster of a ride. It almost makes him a little bit dangerous.
No, not really. I'm like I said, I prepared very, very well. It doesn't matter who was in that ring with me. I know what victory would be for me. And yeah, people are going to say there is no pressure for him, but really, there is a ton of pressure on him. All of a sudden, he's gone from sitting in the stands watching the fight to being the main event, fighting the biggest name in Australian boxing, one of the biggest names in the world. There is a ton of pressure on him, and pressure creates mistakes. Pressure creates, nervous actions. And like I said, this is the ferocious show. This is my show. The show doesn't go on without me. So yeah, of course, there's my own kind of pressures, but I'm so experienced, I'm so seasoned that I know what I bring to the table and how I react to it. He hasn't been in a big event yet. He hasn't been in that big fight yet. He doesn't know how his body reacts to it. So I expect a lot of mistakes. I see holes of him already. There's a lot of holes in there. I expect a lot of mistakes, a lot of miscalculations, and I expect myself to touch him very well on that chin and take him out. But like I said, there's no disrespect to him at all. Like I said, he bought a ticket to come watch, ferocious fight. So, big respect, but that's where it ends.
So moving up to 140, how do you think
Mm.
that's going to benefit your game?
140, I can eat, I can drink, I can feel comfortable. My energy levels, you can see it in my face. I'm not here drawn out. I'm not, to make 135 was very, very hard for me to get down to that weight. It got tougher as, the older I got, especially that last weight cut was very, very hard. And it was at that point I made mentally in my head that I'm going to move up no matter what happens in this fight with Lomachenko. 140 has been fantastic. I'm bigger, I'm stronger. I've come down from about 76 kilos, so I've been able to add a lot more muscle into my frame. People can see the size I've been able to put on, but also how healthy I am in training, how much energy I have in training. My feet, my reaction, my speed, and the biggest concern was I've always had power. I've always had great pop. I haven't been able to, showcase too much of it because I've been fighting the best of the best in the world. When you find the elites like myself, we know how to take power. We know how to, be in the fight and get through them rounds. But I'm ready to showcase. The biggest concern was my speed. Will my speed slow down a little bit? But crazy enough, and the sparring partners can't believe it. The speed's gone better. The reaction's gone better. The feed's gone better. I feel good again.
So there's been no secret that should you win this Saturday, you'll be get the opportunity to fight for the IBF title against Richardson Hitchins. How do you make sure that you kind of don't take your eye off the ball in a way of you look on to bigger things and that you're fully focused on Saturday?
Look, I'm so experienced. I'm so seasoned that I've been in these situations before. Remember, I fought Lee Selby for world title, final world title eliminator, where I had Lopez, the undisputed champ of the world, 4 belts on the line. Big, I knew that would be big, big money and life changing for me. So of course, that's the motivating factor. That's the inspiration. That gives me that extra edge with the guy I'm fighting in front of me. And then I've been in these situations many times. I'm not a stupid fighter. I'm not a guy that we've seen in the past where people focused on too many other names and getting caught up in all the smoke and all the the hype. I'm too focused. I'm too zoned in, and I'm too experienced for that. So Jake Wyllie is the guy in front of me. He's the guy I've obviously focused on, and of course, there's a motivating factor with a big carrot dangling to fight Hitchins for the IBF 140-pound title. Next, but all that is right now is just talk and a motivation to handle my business Saturday night.
In terms of that fight, I feel like a lot of people have doubted you your whole career, but you've always had a lot of confidence and you've proved a lot of people wrong. I think people would be down on you again going into that Hitchins fight. Is that something that motivates you?
Yeah, definitely. People want to disrespect me and say what they want to say, but who have I lost to? I lost to Devin Haney and Vasily Lomachenko. I fought the biggest names in the sport. You know, for me, Hitchins has not fought any big elite name. Yes, he won, had a great fight against Para, who obviously respect there, but he hasn't fought the elite. I'm talking about the pinnacle, the guys like Lopez, the guys like Devin Haney. I went twice with him, and Lomachenko. That's elite pinnacle, 0.001% of boxing, and I've been in there with them. I've fought these guys, so yeah. Look, I know 110% that I will beat him when the time comes. And I love being a road warrior. You know, New York is a good place for me. But again, I'm focused on one guy right now, and that's Jake Wyllie. He's coming to spoil the party. And like I said, this is his Rocky story, but it's not a Rocky movie. There is no happy ending.
And obviously, just like you mentioned, then with New York being a special place for you, it's obviously where you beat Teofimo Lopez. How much does that venue, how much does obviously being back in that place for a world title fight, how much would that mean to you?
Yeah, it meant a lot because I'm actually 2-0 there. You know, I beat Mickey Bay at Madison Square Garden. Mickey Bay was a very good seasoned veteran, Mayweather's good fighter. A lot of respect for him. And then, went out and beat Lopez in New York as well. So I got a good run. I've never ever lost anywhere, obviously, outside of Australia. And the only time I have been beaten is against the biggest names in the world, on a Sunday midday when we're fighting because of the ESPN time. So I'm looking forward. Saturday night, back in Sydney, my hometown. I've had some big wins in Sydney early on in my career. And Saturday night boxing is back, and it's a ferocious show.
And on that fight with Lopez, does a rematch interest you at all at 140 now that you're at the same weight division?
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, I'm focused on one guy right now. Jake Wylie's the guy I focused on. But if you go to the past, I offered him to him in the ring when I beat him. I said, "Come and do it now in Australia." We've gone back and forth many times, and there's never been a hold up. The only hold up is he won't get on a plane. I beat him in New York. I beat him in his hometown, and regardless if he's got a belt or not, I'm still the big name. I'm still a huge name, and look at the stats: 75,000 tickets sold in the last three events here, $32 million gate. Lopez couldn't dream of these kind of numbers. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens there. If he wants to come to Australia, if he wants to, do it on neutral ground, Saudi Arabia, that sounds good to me. But that's all just smoke right now. Like I said, I've beat that guy already. He's the number one at 140 at the moment. I've beat the number one there. So, Jake Wyllie, who's the number one domestic Australian champion. He's the guy at 140 now, and I'll take him out. And maybe he can bring that Australian title as well. I'll take that off him as well.
I just
Add
wanted
that
to
to the
know,
collection of the world title belts I've got in the cabinet. I can put that one in there somewhere.
yeah, those domestic trophies, they always mean a lot to fighters. And I know the British title's a big deal back home here. I just wanted to know the best fighter you've been in there was with the best at lightweight. Now you're moving up to 140. Who would you say is the best you fought?
I get asked this question a lot from just people down the street. I'll be walking and people want to ask me the question because I've gone and actually fought them. No one in the world of boxing has actually gone and fought all these guys back to back to back. Look, they all do certain things really good. They're all elite guys, the pinnacle of the sport. Um, I'd have to say Lomachenko and Haney, guys that are very hard to figure out. Obviously, Loma is very difficult with his fakes, his movement, his feet, constantly giving you all them angles. And then Haney's very sharp. You feel like you're stuck with him. You're stuck in the mud because he just takes that little step. He's got that big span in his legs, and all of a sudden he's out of distance, but then he's got that reach where he can still touch you. And then Lopez is, he's explosive, but Lopez is, you can suck him in. And for my style, the counter punching style, he falls perfect, into my game plan. So I'd have to say it's even between, Lomachenko and Haney. But again, Lopez is still, as much as the beef we have and we hate each other, and obviously I beat him up, there's still, yeah, he's a tremendous fighter too.
In terms of that defeat to Lomachenko, was there, you'd obviously earned good money in the sport. Was there any consideration to walk away?
No, not for a second, because it's Vasily Lomachenko. He's a all-time great, two-time Olympic gold medalist. We know his accolades. I went 11 rounds deep with him, and when I went and The biggest thing was after the fight is I'm moving up a division. I'm going to 140 now. And again, that straight away, like some weird reason, I just gone, 11, nearly 12 rounds with Lomachenko. He took me in the last 10 seconds. Some weird reason, I got this motivation. Okay, let's go to a new division. Let's see what we can do at 140. No, there was never. You don't throw the towel in at 31 years of age when you're losing to all-time greats after 11 rounds. And when I went back, watched the fight, turned it on mute because commentators can sway things around a lot. I watched it on mute. The first six was very good. I had it even 3-3. He got away with it a little bit. I come back a little bit, and then obviously he found a beautiful shot to the body. And it doesn't matter how strong you are to the head. You take a good body shot, and it's very hard to get back up. But I got back up, gave me some more shots, got back up, and at that point, I wanted to go out on my feet, and the towel was thrown in. But where do you go where George Kambosos is such a big name? You got 140-pound champions. The next day calling me up. Social media is always buzzing, and I still got a lot to do and to prove in this sport. So I ain't going nowhere. And Saturday night, I'm going to showcase again.
Yeah. What would becoming a two-weight world champion mean to you?
Yeah, legacy. Everything I do is for legacy, but also, I don't do this for the money. The money is, of course, it's a bonus. It provides for my family, my kids, but I've made plenty where I don't need to. Oh, that's the motivating factor. I need to, do it because of this and that. I do it because I love this sport. I love the feeling of training and pushing myself. I love the feeling of being an underdog. I love the feeling of, fighting, the big names and headlining a big show and creating that buzz. Legacy, that's what I feel, that the legacy of becoming a two-division champion. Um, but also that feeling. That's the feeling. I think a lot of fighters are always trying to catch that feeling of, you can't put a price tag on it. That feeling of, winning a big fight and, being on top of the world. So that's the motivating factor.
Yeah, I think a lot of fighters struggle to kind of let that feeling go, almost, when they walk away. And it is hard. Do you worry about that at all when, the time is to hang up the gloves that you'll miss that feeling?
Not really, because my promotional company, Fresh Promotions, which again we're in partnership with this fight, we've done the big events with the Haney fights, the Lomachenko fights. We've had a lot of success aligned with the biggest promoters in the world, and that would be a new goal. That would be a new motivation for me, and keep me still in the sport. Yes, I've got my private gym. I've got a lot of other ideas and opportunities to open up other gyms for the community, but being a full-time promoter and being involved in the sport at that high level is where my next step would be. But for now, I'm only 31. I feel good. I've only had this is my 25th fight, so my body's good. Yeah, I've been through a lot of hard fights and a lot of wars, but moving up a division, I feel fantastic. So yeah, I just go with the flow. If something was to come in my head in 2, 3 years time, or the promotional company's taken off, or a couple other business ventures I have outside of the sport are taken off, yeah, maybe I'll just say, you know what, guys, all the best, and now I'm ready to, promote the next champion and add that to my, to my resume. We'll see.
Okay, George, and we'll finish on just a prediction for Saturday.
Victory, victory. I always, come in there to be victorious, and you know, with his style, I can see it being very dominant, and something big, somewhere inside them rounds. So, get there Saturday night, support it, and look forward to stepping in there with this young, Aussie kid who's been given an opportunity of a lifetime. So let's go.
Thank you so much for your time, George. I really appreciate it, especially on fight week. I know you're very busy.
My pleasure, my man. Thank you so much.
I appreciate it. Thank you very
Love
much.
you.
Best
Bye
of luck
bye.
for Saturday.
Thank you. Thank you.